you're able, for the flag of Canada. Thank you.
Good afternoon once again and welcome back to Thunderbird Stadium at the Point Grey campus at the University of beautiful, although maybe not today, British Columbia.
The referee, Joey, second official.
It's a cold, rainy one out there today. It's kind of certainly dipped a little bit in temperature from the women's game that kicked off at noon. Everyone's got their toques and their jackets on as well. So we are in for what should be a fantastic League 1BC men's division matchup between the two teams that have so far won League 1BC. It's the 2022 champions TSS Rovers taking on the 2023 champions, defending champions, Vancouver Whitecaps. Hopefully you can hear me over this PA, which is super loud at the moment. But we'll give you the starting lineups for both the teams for the visiting TSS Rovers. 4 changes from the TSS Rovers side that started that battle in the Canadian Championship over in Langford on Wednesday against Pacific FC. In goal for them, wearing number 1 is Justin Sandu. It will line up in a 4-3-3 formation for Brendan Teeling's side, but we will give you the starting lineup in numerical order. Number 4, Nick White. Number 6, Ali Zohar. Number 10, Matteo Polisi. Number 14, Tyler Dillon. Number 17, Danilo Shmachenko. Number 18, Devin O'Hay. Number 19, Michael Hennessy. Number 22, Kian Proctor. Number 23, Gurman Sanga. And number 24, Ben Hulton. For the Whitecaps, they should also line up in a 4-3-3 formation, and 3 changes from the team that started the Whitecaps battling 1-1 draw against Unity last weekend. Fantastic match that was. In goal for the Whitecaps again this afternoon is number 90, Ben Alexander. 23 is Amir Gassemi. Number 65 is Mario Lafiva. Number 68, Cristiano da Silva. Number 73, Benjamin Lee. Number 74, Aidan Fong. Number 79, Matteo Samori. Number 84, Amoni Thomas. Number 87 is Sahai Williams. Number 88 is Angelo Zhu. And number 95 is Marcus Rukavina. Hopefully you heard that over the PA. I can't hear a single word that I'm saying, so hopefully that has come through loud and clear. I'll just kind of hold off until the announcements are finished, and then I'll get back to the commentary.
Canada's most trusted brand for race parts and accessories, the Canadian Premier League, where Canadian soccer takes flight, and One Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. Join the movement. Watch every CPL match from any device.
Okay, I think we're finally done with the announcements and I can actually hear some stuff now. TSS kicking things off. They are wearing the all black jerseys with the white numbers and white trim, shooting from left to right in this first half. The Whitecaps in their traditional white jerseys, blue shorts with the blue hoop, shooting from left to right. And it's Devin O'Hay getting the action underway here at Thunderbird for TSS Rovers. Will they have any hangover from the heroics that they put in midweek against Pacific FC, heartbreakingly losing in a penalty shootout after leading all the way up to the 98th minute before conceding and the game going to penalties? The goal-scoring hero for TSS on Wednesday night, leading the line for them today, is Michael Hennessy, wearing the number 19 jersey. He's playing a little bit deeper at the moment, but him and Devin O'Hay will kind of push forward and interchange with Cian Proctor up front for TSS. And Hennessy, a man very well known to the Whitecaps. He was their leading scorer in League 1 BC last season. 7 goals over the season for the Whitecaps, coming off a fantastic first college season as well with SFU, where he was the GNAC Rookie of the Year after scoring 13 goals and grabbing 3 assists in his 18 appearances there. Another former Whitecap lining up for TSS today is Gurman Sanga, who has played in League 1 for the Caps. For the Whitecaps, they will be looking to build on a very solid opening day performance in a 1-1 draw with Unity that had a very dramatic ending. Ben Alexander producing the huge stoppage time penalty save, and the Whitecaps almost going up the field and scoring. But it's the Whitecaps under the pressure here as Ahe sends that ball in looking for Proctor. It just runs away from the young striker, who's also coming off a rookie season himself. Had a very good Canada West season for the University of Fraser Valley Cascades out in Abbotsford. 5 goals and 6 assists in his 16 appearances for the Cascades. We saw him in action last season, made his debut with TSS, played 14 games altogether, grabbing 4 goals as well. Goals throughout this TSS side, and they're certainly going to be the favourites heading into this one against a very young Whitecap side. The bulk of this Whitecaps team are the under-17s that's made the move up to under-19 level this past winter season. The Whitecaps play in the Fraser Valley Soccer League Premier Division in the winter season. And a heavy knock there for Benjamin Lee. Got his first pro appearances for Whitecaps 2 a couple of days ago in the loss down in Portland against Timbers 2. Very good prospect for the Whitecaps, and so much talent in this Whitecaps side as well. Should be a fascinating matchup. I'm your match commentator, Michael McCall, and I'll have the call all afternoon. If you want to get in touch with me during the broadcast, you can do so on the Ustream feed, or you can get in touch with me on Twitter at AFTN Canada. We always like these broadcasts to be interactive, so if you want to get in touch, let me know about anything about the game, either of these teams. If you want to chat about the League 1 BC season, we like to read your messages out during the game. Let us know where you're taking the action in from as well, and we'll get through your messages and comments as the game goes on. I mentioned the goals in this TSS Rovers side. Masood Habibullah led the team last year, the Golden Boot winner in League 1 BC with 8 goals. Eric Edwardson had 7. Edwardson also winning the Golden Boot for TSS in the inaugural 2022 season. Edwardson out with an injury at the moment, watching from the stands. Masood Habibullah on the bench getting a rest after putting in a tough shift in that matchup against Pacific on Wednesday. Even Mejia as well, 6 goals last year and 7 assists, led the team in assists, also on the bench this afternoon for TSS, who have got some fresh legs in there to try and bring some early pressure to this Whitecaps, and it's an end-to-end game so far. We should be in for a cracker. Don't go anywhere. This could be a goal fest, it could be a cagey one, but it's going to be an entertaining one, you can be sure of that. Alexander looking for some space. Whitecaps like to play out the back, and TSS are going to adopt a very heavy press in the early going here and really put the Whitecaps on the back foot. forcing a turnover. And it's going to be out on the far side for Tyler Dillon. Nick White, another former Whitecap in this TSS lineup. Captained the Whitecaps side to that championship last year. The only man in League 1 BC history to win 2 championships. Won it with TSS in 2022 alongside his brother Anthony, who's sitting just down in front of me taking the action in. Then won it with the Whitecaps last year. Can he have the three-peat? It's the Whitecaps though on the attack and a great chance here. They're bustling their way through. The ball played out to Fong, who gets the shot in, and that's well held by Sandu. First chance of the afternoon. Coming 6 minutes into the Caps there, and great play there by the Caps getting forward. TSS though straight back at it. I do feel we're going to have a end-to-end thing. That chance for the Caps set up there by Marcus Rukavina, who impressed when he came on as a sub last week. Had quite a few looks on goal. 6 goals for the Whitecaps in their Fraser Valley season, and 2 in the Cup as well for the Whitecaps. Zohar plays that one forward to Hennessy. Touch outside to Dillon, gives it back to Hennessy. Nice little back heel from Hennessy. Dillon sends it in onto the head of Devin O'Hay. And the opening goal comes for TSS 7 minutes in. And it's the GNAC Player of the Year, the SFU alumni, Devin O'Hay, that opens the scoring for the Rovers and gets their 2024 League 1 BC campaign off to a flying start here at Thunderbird Stadium. Beautiful move there, nice interplay between Dillon and Hennessy. Great cross in from Tyler Dillon, and Devin O'Hay in the right place at the right time to head that one past Ben Alexander. Not a lot the Caps keeper could have done there, and it's the Rovers with the early lead here. And TSS straight back at it. This is TSS's first game of the season. They had a bye last week after the unfortunate folding of Highlanders. That was meant to be their first match of the season over in Victoria. Out of that, of course, came the fact that TSS could then take Highlanders' place in the Canadian Championship, and they did. League 1 BC and BC Soccer so proud with their performance midweek.
Rovers goal is scored by number 18, Devin O'Hay. The assist to number 14, Tyler
Here come the
Dillon.
Whitecaps. What have they got in
O'Hay
response?
From Dillon in the 8th minute.
Tearing forward, but broken up by the Rovers. Caps will play the ball all the way back to Alexander Lee. Will now bring this out. Benjamin Lee, born in South Africa, in Cape Town, now lives in North Van. As that ball cut out by Houghton there, as just runs out the pass above Aidan Fong. Ben Houghton, one of the changes for TSS from that team midweek. And Palisi tried to bring that forward, but he gets his pocket picked by Gassemi. Plays it out to Fong. Fong sends a dangerous one into the box, and it's headed clear by Nick White. Picked back up, though, by the Whitecaps. And a little touch out there from Proctor. promised you fireworks in this one, and I think that's what we're going to get. I think it's going to be end to end all afternoon. If you're with us for the women's game, a very one-sided 7-0 win for the Whitecaps Girls Elite. This is going to be a much closely contested contest. That heartbreak for TSS midweek has just given all these players the boost they need going into the season. They want to be back in the Canadian Championship next year. They want to have a third bite at the CPL apple, and the only way they're going to do that is by winning the regular season. So they want to get off to a fast start against a Whitecaps side that have given them a lot of problems in League One the past 2 seasons. Can they give them problems here? The ball cleared to Fong, who takes a swipe at it, and that one just goes over. Nice ball coming in from Amoni Thomas, blocked, and the rebound falls to Fong, but he takes it first time and flashes that one over the TSS bar. Fong heads it on. It looked like it maybe came off the arm of Polisi, but he brings it down just now. Hennessy playing quite deep. We saw him play in a kind of out-and-out striker role with the Whitecaps last year, but SFU's kind of played as the striker. He's played as the 10, and he can certainly drop back deep to get the ball and become a playmaker. And he's on the ball just now. Cuts inside. Hennessy, little touch inside to O'Hay. He's twisting, he's turning. He plays it back to Polisi. He pokes it back to White. It'll get recycled out to the left now for the Rovers. Expect to see Matteo Polisi play a kind of deeper role himself for TSS this League One season. A wealth of attacking talent on this Rovers side, and it's how you fit them all in the team, how you keep everyone happy. That's what Brendan Teeling has to cope with. First year head coach for TSS, going up against Rich Fagan on the sidelines, a man that's been with the Whitecaps organisation now for must be over a decade. I've known Rich for a very long time. He's done so well with the academy programmes at various age levels here. He's also briefly in charge of WFC 2 in their first incarnation. Smichenko just stretching, gives that away. A chance now for the Whitecaps to bring this one forward. And it's Thomas powering forward. He's got options either side. He's going himself, cuts it back. Oh, and another block there as Matteo Samori couldn't fully connect with that. And TSS living dangerously at the back. Whitecaps looking very impressive on these quick transition plays. And it's really helter-skelter pace out there just now. Both teams just going hell for leather. End-to-end stuff here. We thought this would be the game of the weekend, and it's proven to be that so far, as Dillon whips that one in. The loose ball falls to Hennessy. Keeps that one low, and that's easily dealt with by Ben Alexander. And the Whitecaps goal. White plays it back to his keeper, who'll play that one back out to Smichenko. Lee now, chance to bring this one forward for the Whitecaps. Just puts his foot on the ball, looks to see some movement in any of the channels, but TSS not given any room out there, and the Whitecaps will try and bring it out to the other side. Overhit pass. Then it's going to be out for a Rovers throw-in just inside the Whitecaps half. Now it's just inside their own half as Dillon moves back. Rain still slightly coming down here. Not as heavy as it was between the two matches, but It's going to be a really slick pitch out there. I mentioned it in the women's game. It's a newish turf. It's been down for a couple of years now here at Thunderbird Stadium, but calling the UBC games over the past few years, I know you get some really weird bounces on that pitch, and when it does rain, it becomes really, really slick and a lot of slipping. So we'll see who's got the right footwear on for these conditions. Everyone seems to be handling it well so far. As the Whitecaps just starting to play the patience game and just knocking it about. They've got that early goal. If you're just tuning in, the breakthrough came 7 minutes in. Devin O'Hay brilliantly heading home a Tyler Dillon cross. Outside of the foot pass there from Gurman Sanga is cut out by the Caps, and they're going to get something going now. Sanga with the Whitecaps in the 2022 League 1BC season. Graduated from Portland Pilots, had a couple of years at Memphis Tigers as well. Spent 2023 in MLS Next Pro, not with Whitecaps 2, but with Charlotte Legacy, Charlotte FC's second team, and he played 12 games, 466 minutes down with Charlotte. Released at the end of the season, comes back to BC and looking to put himself in the shop window for either MLS Next Pro, maybe USL, maybe CPL if he can have a good year. He was with the Whitecaps Academy from 2016 to 2018, and Whitecaps mostly going with their academy players this season. Don't seem to have really brought back any of their college guys. So it's a young Whitecaps team, and they went toe-to-toe with Unity last week, and they've gone toe-to-toe with TSS in the opening going here. Long ball forward to Thomas to try and get on to Shmachenko. Doesn't deal with that well. Thomas gets the shot in, but kind of whiffs at that a little bit, and it just goes wide off the right post. But Amoni Thomas is certainly causing a lot of problems out there for this TSS defence, the 17-year-old out of Edmonton. Thomas actually made 3 appearances for WFC 2 last year in MLS Next Pro, starting one of the games. Was also an unused sub 5 times, so on the cusp of that second team for the Whitecaps, as so many of these Whitecaps players are, and they're wanting to have a good showing this League One campaign to try and put themselves in that picture and even put themselves in the MLS mix for a homegrown contract. Certainly a lot of talent on an albeit young Whitecaps side. Nice little give and go play. Let's Aiden Fong bring this forward. He's only got one option in the middle, and he cuts it back, trying to find that option, which was Matteo Samori. But it's cut out by TSS, and they're bringing this one forward. And that's a nice through ball played through for Proctor or O'Hay there by Hennessy. Alexander had to be quick off his line with 2 Rovers players bearing down on him. That's a great through ball there from Hennessy. Talked about his goal scoring prowess, but he can also set those chances up, be that playmaker. He got 2 assists in League One with the Whitecaps last year. A cheap foul given away just inside the TSS half. Ali Zohar wanting to try and take that quickly, not getting the opportunity. Hennessy sent crashing to the ground. Pleasy plays that forward to O'Hay. Nice little back heel and played back right away by Hennessy. Those two link up so well. O'Hay hits the byline, pulls it back, but well read by the Whitecaps, and they'll clear that danger for now and just kick this one up the field. O'Hay and Hennessy, you saw that understanding on the TSS goal against Pacific on Wednesday night. Proctor now. He's got time to run here. Cuts this one back, sends a dangerous one in the box. It's headed clear by the Caps, only as far as Polisi. He heads that back to Proctor, but good recovery play there by Gassemi to go back and knock that out. TSS quickly on with the throw-in. Dillon got the assist on the goal, hits the deck there, but good challenge there by Gassemi, and that's going to run behind for a Whitecaps goal kick. I was starting to mention the understanding there between O'Hay and Hennessy. They linked up so well with SFU this past season. O'Hay winning the GNAC Player of the Year, Hennessy the Rookie of the Year, and between them, Hennessy with his 13 goals and 3 assists, and O'Hay 9 goals and 9 assists. So O'Hay averaged 1 goal contribution for every game played, which is pretty impressive, and Hennessy wasn't too far behind. And it's all about that, especially in the early stages of League One, is getting that chemistry, getting that understanding going. And we saw a lot of it with the Whitecaps last week, and we'll see if they can build on that now. They trailed to an early goal last week, first minute goal from Unity, and they fought back to level that one. We're midway through the first half now, and they trail again, and a bit of hesitation there from Lee. He gets his pocket picked by O'Hay, who's in on goal, uses his power to hold Lee off, but can't get the ball under control, and that just runs into the welcoming arms of Ben Alexander there. But O'Hay is a real handful, as Pacific found out midweek. High hopes for Devon O'Hay that he is going to be another one of these Rovers players that might make the jump to the CPL. Had interest from a couple of clubs in the off-season. Had a little bit of training time out east with York. And you have to feel there's going to be more of the teams watching this, seeing what Devon O'Hay can bring to them. Here come the Caps again, Rukavina. It's a nice ball inside again to Thomas. He's got room to run here. He's got an option out. Finds Fong to his right. Fong, first time cross back into the middle, but it's well cut out there by Shmachenko. It's a high Williams now. Centre back bringing this one forward. Time to run there. Fong just stepped over that. I think he was hoping that Thomas was going to make the run, but the right wing back checked his run there. Didn't go for that ball. And TSS will have the throw in deep in their own half. Hulton sends that forward, only finds a header to Silva. Gassemi moved out to the right side now. Whitecaps pressing hard, and good blocking play there by Gassemi. Sorry, that's Fong. Whitecaps moving the ball around nicely. Fong chasing that one down. He's been very lively for the Whitecaps. Him and Thomas up this right side have certainly caused TSS a lot of problems, attacking the young fullback Ben Hulton. And it's Thomas back on the ball again just now. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, you can do so in the YouTube chat. A couple of people that have so far. La Vie on Block says, nice goal for Devon Hayes' effort. Dim McNamee just sharing the Pirate flag as it's the Pirates on tour and leading this one 1-0. 26 minutes gone in the first half. Can the Whitecaps get back on level terms? Well, they've won themselves a corner here to try and do it with, again, some good play out on the right here from Aidan Fong. The 18-year-old from Richmond only played 3 minutes in League 1 BC last year, but impressed last week and has impressed again in the early going here. Been in the Whitecaps system since 2019 now. The referee not liking what he's seeing on the goal line there, going to just calm things down. But a good chance here for the Whitecaps. We know they can be dangerous at set pieces, and they've got some big bodies up there as well, but Rovers also have some big bodies back there, as the referee just giving a little bit of a talking to Ben Hulton and Matteo Samori. We'll keep an eye on that as they both make their way to the goal line in front of Justin Sandu. Semi looked to see if he was going to bring it short, taking two Rovers players with him as well, and the corner ends up coming in, but not a lot to that. Now Cian Proctor has a chance to send this one up the field, but that's asking a lot of O'Hay, and the ball runs out for a Whitecaps throw in just inside their own half. The helter-skelter pace of the early going has calmed down a little bit. And we saw that last week as well with the Whitecaps game with Unity. Both teams have so much talent out there and so much dangerous attacking threats. It's going to be a tough Sunday afternoon at the office for both of these defences. As the Rovers bring it out of the back again through Nick White. Talked about the young Whitecap side out there. It's also quite a young TSS side as well. Hennessy, Proctor, Hulton, all the young guns in this TSS team as they log those under 23 and under 19 minutes early. Thomas plays that forward again, looking for Fong. Those two seem to have a good understanding up this right side for the Caps. All the teams, there's been a change with how the minutes are logged this year. Last year, in the first 2 years of League One, it was a certain number of under 23 players on the pitch. You had to have under 19s on the bench, and you could only play a certain number of overage players. The change this year is that it's gone by a minutes basis, which we'll come back to as O'Hay breaks forward now. Cuts that back, looking for Hennessy, but that was well read by the Whitecaps, and Lee will bring this one out. Gasemi plays that inside. Lefevre plays that up the wing. De Silva now plays it out wide to Thomas, and he has got room to run here if he wants it, but he's looking to send the ball in, just eluding the outstretched foot of Marcus Rukavina there. And a shot coming in there from Gasemi, straight into the arms though of Justin Sandu. Gasemi didn't find himself on the score sheet for the Whitecaps last year, did register an assist. Looking to build on a very strong Fraser Valley Soccer League Premier winter season. 5 goals for the Whitecaps in the Fraser Valley, 4 in the league and 1 in the cup. Gasemi did score for the Whitecaps in their playoff run last year. As Lefeva plays that ball forward, looking for Gasemi, but it's taken off his foot by Zohar. Now a chance for TSS to maybe get something going. Houghton. Looking to play a give and go there with Sanga, but they just weren't on the same page there. Houghton hadn't continued his run, and even if he had, I wasn't sure he was going to get on that, as Sanga left that pass, return pass, a little bit short. And Sahai Williams not taking any risks there, and just a big boot on that, sending it into touch. Just past the half-hour mark here. TSS leading this one. 7th minute goal from Devon Ahay. The difference between these two teams right now. It's been a very even game though. Both sides certainly moving the ball around well. Maybe just lacking a little bit of quality in the box with the final ball. And it's going to be a bit of a foot race here. Hennessy and Williams just again taking no chances there and rightly putting it into touch, but TSS quickly back onto it. Ahay, nice flick inside, looking for Hennessy. Whitecaps break it up and try and get something going. Rukavina is forced to be quite deep at the moment. Now the Caps have got a chance to get something going. Fong, he's got the overlapping run here from Thomas. Plays the ball out to Thomas. Looks up, sends the ball into the box. A good block there though by Houghton. Thomas gets it back though. Now Lefeva. Whitecaps looking for any movement in any of the channels, but TSS not giving up a lot of space. That was a nice little pass inside and cheap free kick given away, but a good tackle in the end there as Rukavina was powering forward. We saw him cause the Unity defence all sorts of problems when he came on as a second half sub last week. Good crowd out for this one this afternoon at Thunderbird Stadium. Big attendance increase from last week. Partly because numbers from Guardians and TSS fans have made the trip, but good splattering of Whitecaps fans out as well. Gasemi standing over this free kick. 35 yards out. We saw 2 free kick goals in the women's game. This one though, chipped in by Gasemi. Over the head of everyone. He was trying to get that into Thomas, but over the head of everyone and out for a TSS goal kick. Here come the Whitecaps again through Gasemi. He's got Sambori inside, but tries to do it all himself, and it's broken up by Dillon. Now Zohar will play this up the wing for Proctor to run. We know he's got pace. He is hard to deal with, the big man, and that is very well read there by Thomas. Cutting that out before it can get to Sanga. Fong now cuts into the box. Houghton Stuck a dangerous leg out there, and lucky that didn't make any contact there with Fong. The ball comes up to O'Hay. TSS will build out slowly from the back. Again now on the other side, Shmachenko bringing this one forward. Polisi pounds on the loose ball. It's out to Sanga. He's got a lot of space here to take his time and pick out the right pass. Powers into the box. Cuts it back in front of goal, and there's a second for TSS. Matteo Polisi doubles the Rovers lead in the 36th minute. Great work out wide by Gurman Sanga. Cuts into the box, plays it perfectly into the pass of Matteo Polisi, and he's not going to miss from there, and the Rovers have a 2-0 advantage. 36 minutes gone here at Thunderbird Stadium, and the 2022 League One champions leading the 2023 League One champions. What do the Whitecaps have in reply? That brings the smoke out from the Swan Guardians. The drum is out for them as well, and they are in joyous mood down to my right hand side. The smoke though is carrying throughout the stand, and I think it's possibly going to smoke out everybody that is behind them at the moment. It's those kinds of conditions here at Thunderbird Stadium this afternoon. The smoke is not carrying and lifting. At least it's not over on the pitch and blocking things out.
Matteo Polisi in the 36th minute. Polisi in the 36th minute.
Polisi now, the goal scorer on the ball. Long ball forward, flicked on by O'Hay, perfectly into the pass of Proctor. And a fantastic save there from Ben Alexander to deny the young striker. That second goal certainly seems to have brought a big spring to the step of TSS. Just runs out. Gasemi looking a little bit frustrated there with himself, and I'm sure with the scoreline as well. Whitecaps have played well in this first half, and it's been a very even first half. The difference has just been TSS have had a couple of chances and been clinical in front of goal, taking both of them to have that 2-goal advantage. Here come the Rovers again. O'Hay, nice crossfield ball for Sanga. He brings it down well. He's got Thomas in front of him. Plays the curler inside. It's dealt with by Williams, but not fully, and it just bounced about awkwardly there for Thomas, and that's going to be out for a TSS corner. I think this might actually be the first corner of the game for the Rovers. And it's going to be Matteo Polisi coming over to take this one. Slowly, it has to be said, not in any rush at all. As the Rovers send their big men forward into the box. Shmachenko, White, both dangerous at these set-piece opportunities. Polisi in swinger to the near post. Referee didn't like what he saw there and blows that one before anything can be done damage-wise. And the Caps will get a bit of respite at the back. It's been all TSS since that second goal. You wonder what changes Rich Fagan might make at the half. Made a couple last week at half time. Definitely has some difference makers on the bench if he wants to turn to them. Polisi just lets that bounce too much and it's taken off his foot. Now here's Fong for the Whitecaps. A little step over, tries to make room for the shot. Very well read though by Hilton, and a good block there. We saw midweek against Pacific how very good defensively this TSS Rovers team is this year. They don't give up a lot of goals at the best of times. Justin Sandu in goal for them just now. 11 clean sheets over his first 2 years in League 1BC with the Rovers. Another SFU alumni that graduated this past college season. And here comes Tyler Dillon. His second year with the Rovers, his third in the league. Chipped forward for O'Hay, well closed down initially by Gassemi, but O'Hay recovers the ball, plays it back to Polisi, tries to make room for the shot, and Polisi fires one over with the air of a deflection. That's going to be out for another corner kick on the far side here for TSS. Rovers with the corner, it's an in-swinger, it's headed on by Polisi onto the line, and I think it's Sanga that gets the final touch. I don't think it had crossed the line from Polisi's header, but Garmin Sanga, the former Whitecap, comes back to haunt his former side, and it's 3-0 now to TSS in the 42nd minute here. It was 7-0 for the Whitecaps women. Could we get an aggregate tie the way that this game's playing out? I think that's probably a bit of a stretch, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. But it's the rampant Rovers right now that hold the 3-goal advantage with 3 minutes of this first half remaining. Great in-swinging corner, and Polisi did so well to get up to meet that one. Polisi now with a goal and an assist. Sanga with a goal and an assist. Everything is coming up TSS right now. What have the Whitecaps got in response? Rukavina had tried to play that one through, but it's cut out by the Rovers, who are in fine fettle right now, and more smoke off from the Swan Guardians down to my right. Don't think it'll make it into the broadcast, but you never know. Actually, it's now coming over this way, so you may start to see it come through in the broadcast. So if you think things have got a little bit hazy on the stream, it is just the red smoke from the Swan Guardians. It is very much making its way over to this area.
The assistant number 22, Ian Proctor, in the 42nd minute. Sanga from Proctor in the 42nd minute.
Houghton with a throw and a foul on Hennessy, who's had a lot of attention out there today, understandably as well, after that goal midweek. And these Whitecaps players will know Hennessy as well. The Whitecaps alumni came through the academy, and conveyor belt of talent that comes through this Whitecaps academy. And you're looking at this Whitecaps team, and as I mentioned, it is a young team. And I mentioned this on the broadcast last week. I kind of feel that this season might be like the 2022 season for the Whitecaps, where it's maybe going to take a little bit of time for these players to find their feet. There'll be ups, there'll be downs, there'll be mixed results, but then their second season in the league, which would be next year, they'll be flying as Hay heads that one in, and Alexander has to punch that away with Hennessy poised to head that one in, but TSS keeping the danger on. Hennessy does well to turn, can't get the shot off, it's blocked. It flag goes up on the far side as Sanga got the bit between his teeth now and is looking to add to that goal and an assist that he's got out there.
The fourth official on the sidelines has indicated 1 minute of stoppage time. 1 minute.
Sanga playing on the left side in this game, played on the right against Pacific on Wednesday, and do feel he is better on this left-hand side. Started to really come into his game after the mid-second half substitutions, but what have Whitecaps got in response? They're still fighting away, and a chance here to get one back, and that hits off the left post by Gassemi there, and he just looks up to the heavens. That was a great chance for the Whitecaps. It's the closest they've come to getting on the score sheet, but denied by the woodwork. And Justin Sandu and the Rovers breathe a sigh of relief and keep their 3-goal advantage. But here come the Caps again. Amoni Thomas, who's been excellent out there this afternoon for them, takes it out wide, plays it in, comes off Houghton, and the danger cleared by the Rovers. And there goes the half-time whistle. A fairly even first half, but the scoreline would say otherwise, as it's a 3-goal lead for TSS at half-time. Devon Ahay opening the score in 7 minutes in, heading home from a Tyler Dillon cross. 32nd minute, Matteo Polisi finished from close in from a pass from Gurman Sanga. 10 minutes later, Sanga returned the favour, finishing off a header from Polisi. That's how it stands at half-time. Whitecaps 0, TSS Rovers 3. Go stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice. We'll be back in 15 minutes with the second half of this one.
your Vancouver Whitecaps FC.
Welcome back to Thunderbird Stadium for the second half of League 1 BC men's division action. It's the Whitecaps hosting TSS Rovers, and it's the visitors with a 3-goal advantage at the break. A very, very solid first half performance by TSS, and what was a pretty even first half, it has to be said. Clinical in front of goal, though, is the difference, as TSS had their chances, took their chances, and have a 3-goal lead over the Whitecaps. Some substitutions for the Whitecaps at the half. Coming on is number 98, David Ajagbe, and also the number 89, Elijah Bean. Ajagbe, a very promising right-footed forward. Played 9 games in League 1 BC last year, getting 1 goal. Their joint high scorer for the Whitecaps, under 19s in the Fraser Valley Soccer League Premier Division, so we'll see what he can add to the Whitecaps attack. They're kicking off the second half in their white jerseys with the blue shorts and the blue hoop, shooting from right to left. TSS in the all black with the white numbers and trim, left to right. The other sub, as I mentioned, Elijah Bean, Edmontonian, played in the Fraser Valley this past winter season as well, and is Toss Rickett's nephew. Played some time in Toss Rickett's academy out in Edmonton as well, and had a very good showing last week against Unity. Liked what I saw from him. Speaking to TSS Rovers head coach before this one, Brendan Teeling, he mentioned how dangerous he felt Bean was. He came to watch the Whitecaps game with Unity last week and was very impressed by Elijah Bean. So let's see what Bean and Ajagbe can do for the Whitecaps in this second half. They've got a big mountain to climb to get themselves back into it. The women ran out 7-0 winners in the first game. So in terms of the Juan de Fuca plate standings, Chris Corrigan in the YouTube chat says, let's go Rovers. A win here matters for the Juan de Fuca plate. champions. And Costa Papakyriakopoulos says, what a performance from TSS. Who's going to stop them this year? What a great roster. Remember, if you want to keep in touch with us during the game, you can leave a message in the YouTube chat or get in touch on Twitter. As Bean fires a shot into the side net and spoke about how dangerous he was. You see it there in the opening seconds of this half.
Out of the match, number 74, Aiden Thong. And into the game, number 98, David Ajegbi. Second substitution.
Some changes for TSS as well,
also leaving the match, number 65,
which we'll get to in a second. We'll try and see who's come off for TSS. Koji Poon has come on the left wing here. Plays his football with SFU, has a very good rookie season, and another player that was with this Whitecaps team in League One last year. As Devon Hay left a little bit in there on Sahai Williams, and Williams gets the decision in his favour. Trying to see who it is that's gone off for TSS. I think it might actually be Gurman Sanga, the man with the goal and the assist that has made way. Don't see him out there for this second half. Another substitution for TSS at the half coming on. Number 12, Albert Kang in the middle of the park. Fantastic shift from Kang in that midweek game at Pacific. Yeah, it looks like Cian Proctor may have made way at half-time as one of the substitutions as well. So yeah, it looks like Proctor and Sanga off, Poon and Kang on. And that does appear to be the only changes, 2 for each side. Albert Kang, fantastic VMSL winter season with BB5 United. BB5 winning their 3rd straight VMSL title, and a big part of that was the man that pulled the strings in the middle of the park, Albert Kang. Kang had 4 years at Loyola Maryland before transferring for his final year with Hofstra Pride. And he's definitely a key playmaker for this Rovers side in the middle of the park. O'Hay now doesn't manage to keep that one in, just runs behind. Maybe just took his eye of the ball for a split second there, and that's going to run behind Ben Alexander's goal. IMSTV Boy says 4 more goals for the Rovers, please. Obviously looking for the 8-7 aggregate win today. Next goal in this one is going to be crucial, because if the Whitecaps can get it, and they've added 2 very dangerous attacking pieces, then they could be right back into this one. And one of those pieces, Ajagbi, powering his way through there, knocking Danilo Shmachenko to the ground, and that takes a lot to do, I tell you that. That just shows the speed and the pace of Ajagbi, but the foul is actually called for the challenge earlier in that build-up play on Amoni Thomas, and it's the Whitecaps that's going to get the free kick here. And De Silva standing over this one. He's looking for some movement. He's going to loft this one into the box. De Silva delicately chips that one in. It only falls onto Hennessy, who will get a big boot on that and send that one into touch for a Whitecaps throw in just inside the Rovers half. Bean over to take this one. He plays that inside to De Silva. De Silva's going to be a key piece for the Whitecaps if they are going to try and get themselves back into this one. Angelo Zu now. He was so good for the Whitecaps last week, has been very quiet in the first half of this one though today. Zhu on the ball just now. He got the equaliser for the Caps against Unity last week, and they need him to bring some of the magic that he brought last week. He was one of my men of the match for sure. So Rukavina sends a nice ball out to the wing. Takes a touch of Hennessy, who's playing very deep for the Rovers right now. Aloha FV says, let's go Caps. Tobin Rootman says, Benji Hilton, MVP. As the Whitecaps get the corner taken quickly and short. Comes back to Zhu, but not quite sure what's going on there. It's going to have to get retaken. I don't think the referee was ready for the quickness of that one. It's actually going to possibly work out for the Whitecaps better, because that had really come to nothing. This time Zhu's going to send this one into the box off the head of White, and that's a chance if O'Hay can get to this first, but that's well played there by De Silva to get to that ball first. Sends a dangerous ball in, looking to try and get that to Gasemi, but just heavy first touch carries that away from the Whitecaps midfielder. Gasemi in his second season with the Caps, the 18-year-old from Coquitlam, born in Iran, moved here with his family, played his football with the Aries Academy before joining the Whitecaps in February last year. Farivar Tarabi's Aries Academy doing great things out in the valley. If you're unfamiliar with them, check out their social media. Go over to Spain for a couple of tournaments and play some nice. There's a lot of talent coming through that, and Gasemi, one of what you feel could be many to go from that programme into the Whitecaps over the coming years. So we get the first booking of the match in the 54th minute. It looks like that one went to Ali Zohar, judging by the fact that he's protestating out there. Not even sure that's a word. It is now. And Benjamin Lee will get a chance to send this one deep into the Rovers box. In fact, he plays it out there looking for Bean. Didn't quite get the direction, and it ends up getting cut out by Samori. Samori plays that back to Bean, but Bean's going to be forced to go all the way back to Lee, and the Whitecaps will recycle it out now to the other side, try and get something going up the left. Williams, he's had a good performance today for the Caps. Plays that inside to Gasemi, who has a wild one at that, bringing sarcastic cheers from the Sun Guardians down to my right. But this is more like it for the Whitecaps. This is what they need to do in this second half. The next goal is crucial in this. If the Whitecaps can get it, certainly going to make the Rovers think a little bit. Justin Sandhu's not really had much to do in the Rovers goal this afternoon. A good pressing play from the Caps forces the turnover. Benjamin Lee cuts that back, looking for Bean or Rukavina, but it doesn't find either, and TSS break it up and they'll get a chance now. And Whitecaps really pressing hard now, doing what TSS did to them in the first half and not giving the defenders any time to think on the ball. And Houghton just cracking that one off Bean, and it's going to run behind for a Rovers goal kick. Or did it actually go out for a corner? Yeah, it looks like it went out for a corner. Hilton sends that throw in forward. It's flicked on by O'Hay. Polisi playing a more advanced role in this half. A goal and an assist to his name this afternoon. Zhu sends that one forward. It's broken up though. Albert Kang looking for some movement. Finds Poon on the wing. Koji Poon's such a dangerous player. He gets past his man here, gets past Zhu, sends it into the box. Williams deals with it well. Gasemi, who feels like he's all over the pitch at the moment for the Whitecaps. Every single position, every single side. He's forced to play this one back though to Zhu. Still Angelo Zhu finds Samori, but his loose pass forward, not... Sorry about that, just choking on a loose peanut left over from half time. TSS just moving the ball around, brought down by Dylan. Little give and go with Kang, gets it back. Kang gets that one taken off his foot though, and a chance here now for Samori to break forward inside to a Jagbe, but a big boot there sends that one up, and Shmachenko gets the worst for wear for that. Down in a heap after that clearance. Got a lot of Rovers supporters and owners in the YouTube chat. Bernie Kostlemeyer, sorry I've just butchered your name there, says hands up if you own your club, hashtag Forza Rovers. So where's all the Whitecaps fans? Get in the chat, let us know you're supporting the team. Good turnout here though today, so it's probably that there's a lot of the Whitecaps fans out in the crowd. I'd say that a couple of hundred out for this one, which is going to be one of the best games in the men's division. These two teams have had some battles over the last couple of years in League One. In regular season play, the Whitecaps just seem to have had a bit of a jinx over TSS, but that looks to maybe be broken this afternoon. It's been a very dominant display from TSS Rovers just now. Second half though, it's the Whitecaps that are making all the running as the hour mark approaches. Whitecaps moving the ball around nicely, but just keeps getting broken up at the final moment. Whitecaps just unable to find the telling final balls or the through balls to get any real attacks going and test Justin Sandu in that Rovers goal. Sandu had a dominant display on Wednesday night against Pacific. 2 saves in the penalty shootout as well. There's going to be a double substitution coming up for TSS Rovers. The Whitecaps think they're going to get any respite. They're not, as last year's Golden Boot winner Masood Habibullah looks set to come on for TSS, as another Whitecaps attack just breaks down with an overhit final ball. So we'll see who makes way here for TSS. Josh Tomei. Sorry, I think it's Connor McMillan that looks like it's going to be coming on with Masood Habibullah. As the Whitecaps push again. Samori. Bean in acres of room. Oh, unfortunate first touch there from Bean that just got away with him. But here's a chance now for Thomas. He has been so good for the Whitecaps this afternoon. Definitely a player to keep your eye on. As TSS still wait to make this substitution. That's a heavy challenge there from Devon O'Hay. I think it's Thomas that got the brunt of it there. The Whitecaps will get a free kick. I thought a card might be coming out for O'Hay there, but... And TSS will now make their substitutions.
Third substitution for the Rovers, leaving the match.
And it's Michael Hennessy and Devon O'Hay making their way off here for Masood Habibullah and Connor McMillan.
Leaving the match, Number 18, Devin O'Kay.
Habibullah, as I mentioned, led the scoring in League 1 BC, the Golden Boot winner with 8 goals last season. Put in a big shift on Wednesday night on the island, so getting a little bit of a rest, but what an option to come on off the bench for TSS, as is Conor McMillan, the dangerous playmaker. And it's Habibullah trying to get in the action right away, but Zoo wins the ball back, cuts it back to Jagbe, who gets the shot in. It's blocked, falls to Thomas, who gets a good shot in, and that's well held by Justin Sandu.
Number 7, Conor McMillan.
TSS now, a rare attack from them in this half. It's been all Whitecaps since the restart. TSS's attack has basically become non-existent, but they've got a chance to get something going here. Forced back though under the pressing game from the Caps, and that's going to come all the way back to White. Sends a nice diagonal ball out to the wing to McMillan. Fresh legs on, plays it inside to Kang. That's just a loose one from Kang. This will give Bean the chance to break forward. It's Bean against Zohar. Bean gets the better of Ali Zohar so far. Still Elijah Bean, and Hulton comes over. A cracking tackle there from the left back. Takes that ball away from Bean. Benjamin Hulton's had a very good showing out there this afternoon for TSS. Just saw him fleetingly last year in League 1. He's going to get minutes this year. Gesemi now trying to get forward, but Shmichenko, the rock that he is, the Ukrainian again, he's hard to get by. He was. And here's a Jagbe picking up that loose ball, taking it off the foot of Dylan, but Dylan recovers well to get a sweeping foot on that and send that out to touch for a Whitecaps throw-in. I'll come back to what I was saying about Shmichenko in a second. The Whitecaps on the attack here and win another throw-in. Gesemi has been so busy for them this afternoon. Just not got some of the breaks, but he's really put the shift in. Him and Dylan seem to be chirping away at each other down there. Gesemi gets the ball back. Plays that back to De Silva. Tries to slip that inside to Thomas, but it's cut out by McMillan. Now's a chance for TSS to break. Koji Poon, he's got 2 Whitecaps around him. He needs a little bit of support. Ends up playing it back to McMillan. Back out to Poon. And Poon sent crashing to the deck by Gesemi, and that's going to be a yellow card coming out for the Whitecaps midfielder in the 65th minute. First Whitecaps booking of the game. Ali Zohar picking up a yellow card earlier this half for TSS. And Pelosi over now to take this free kick. He's got a goal and an assist to his name so far this afternoon.
Cougars number 23, Amir Gesemi, in the 65th minute.
He sends this one into the box, looking for Shmichenko, but well headed clear by Benjamin Lee. TSS keeping the pressure on. Kang plays it back to Polisi, sends another one into the box, headed clear again by the Caps, only to Habibullah at the edge of the box. Zohar now plays that one through, it falls to Habibullah and it's taken off his feet. Danger not cleared though, but the flag is up for offside on Nick White. Habibullah just lining up to take the shot there, but great defensive play by David Ajagbe to take that one right off his foot. And we're going to get another Whitecaps substitution now.
third substitution for Vancouver. Leaving the match, number 23, VWFC. And replaced by number 34, Riley Ferraro. In the 66th minute.
Riley Ferrero coming on for the Whitecaps for Amir Gassemi, as the Whitecaps had an attack there and a Jagby penalised, much to his chagrin. He thought he'd won that ball clearly. It did look a bit of a 50-50, I've got to say. The Rovers get the free kick and Sandu sends this one into the Whitecaps half. It's headed on by Thomas. And the Rovers will get a throw in on the far side. It's getting really dark and grey again here at UBC. I wonder if the heavens are going to open once more. And it's a bit of a loose one from Zohar. It's picked up by De Silva. He plays this one out to Bean. Bean floats a dangerous one into the box, but Nick White there, as he has done so often for TSS and the Whitecaps in the past, with a big header to knock away the danger. Whitecaps though trying to keep it on. Loose one picked up, and now Habibullah's got a chance to run forward. He is tough to get off the ball, and he tries to slot that one through to Koji Poon, but just snuffed out there by Williams before Poon can get on the end of it. Poon's now got the rebound. Kang out to McMillan. He's got time to pick the pass. Habibullah dropping deep. Rovers moving the ball around nicely. It comes out to McMillan on the left. He's got three players in the box. Plays it inside, looking to try and get, I think he was actually trying to get it in towards Habibullah, but Hilton was in there first and just has a little flick that carries it over Ben Alexander's bar. Just past the midway point now in the second half. Whitecaps still trailing by 3 here at Thunderbird Stadium, and they've put a good showing in the second half. Forced 2 possible saves out of Justin Sandu, but they haven't really threatened to get that next goal that is going to make things a bit more interesting. Elijah Bean, you feel though, is a man that could definitely do some damage and get that, and Bean tries to slot that through to Samori, but again cut out by Nick White. And for the Rovers, it's just a case of playing this one up the field. They've got these 3 goals advantage. They not tiring themselves too much out after their midweek exertions. Oh, Thomas looking to try and play a give and go there with Samori, but didn't get the ball back. Now it's a chance for TSS to get something going with Polisi. Good tackle there by Lee. Bean flicks that one on, but Ajagbe can't get to it. Another big boot in there from Nick White. Ajagbe now out to Bean. Those two have linked up so well since coming on for the Caps. Bean, little touch inside, looking for Samori. Snuffed out again though by Nick White. Here goes Bean again, feeds Ajagbe. He's got just one option to look for in the middle, which is Ferraro, the sub that's come on. Now there's other numbers coming up for the Whitecaps, but that's just allowed TSS to regroup and clear the danger. The problem with the quick breaks from being in a Jagby is they're just not getting the support up there to back them up right now. Thomas inside to Williams. Centre back pounding forward, gives it out to a wide open Bean. He's got time and space here to pick out the shot. And he hits the side net in a flashing effort there from Elijah Bean. Certainly been a live wire since he's come on. Took a deflection on the way through as well, so it's actually going to be a corner to the Whitecaps on the far side. Angela Zhu over to take this one. Corner comes in, and this a goal back for the Whitecaps. Fantastic corner, whipped in. Trying to see who got the touch there. And it is David Ajagbe that gets the touch. Just watching that one back on the stream. Rose above everyone in the Rovers backline to make this interesting now with 18 minutes to go. It's Whitecaps 1, TSS Rovers 3. David Ajagbe, his first off the season. And the Whitecaps now getting a little bit of reward for their strong play in this second half. I talked about the goal scoring prowess of Ajagbe. 11 goals and 2 in the cup in the Fraser Valley with the under-19s. 5th in scoring in the Fraser Valley Soccer League this past winter season, including a hat-trick in one of the games. Played 9 games in League 1 BC last year, just got the 1 goal, but you feel that's going to be the first of several for the big striker this afternoon.
Thank you for goal.
Now,
scored by number 98, David Ajagbe.
What have TSS got in response to that? They've not exactly been lackadaisical in this second half, but they haven't brought the intensity that they did in the first, and maybe been punished for that. But the Whitecaps deserve to get something. They've really made the running in this second half. They've reduced the deficit to 2, and they'll be pushing to reduce that one further. But TSS have a free kick here, which McMillan will send out wide. It's floated in over everyone. It falls to White at the back post. Tries a little bit of a scissor kick there. He is out of position now, though, as the Whitecaps try and get something going, but bundled over there is Samori, and the Whitecaps are going to get a free kick about 10 yards inside their own half here, as they try to get another one back here at Thunderbird Stadium. Williams again pounding forward. Very Eric Lajeunesse style centre back, loving to get himself forward. Koji Poon now for TSS.
In substitution for the Rovers in the 76th minute. Making the match
Another substitution coming up for TSS here. Matteo Polisi making way, and even Mejia coming on for the last 15 minutes. Mejia still trying to get his fitness back after picking up an injury playing in the VMSL with BB5 United back in March. Bit of a groin injury for Mejia. Trained fleetingly in the build-up to that game against Pacific, came on as a late sub in that one as well. He's looking to try and rediscover that form from last year for TSS that saw Mejia gets 7 assists and 6 goals for the Rovers. Earned him a CPL contract with Vancouver FC, and he's still in the mix there, although he was let go at the end of the season. Vancouver FC have kept in touch with him, wanting to see what he can do this League 1BC season. Some few other eyes around the league also keeping an eye on Mejia. Such a mercurial talent, he can dance his way through defences when he's on the ball. We'll see what he can add to the Rovers in the final 15 minutes here. Zhu gets the assist on that Whitecaps goal from the corner. Plays this one inside to Ferraro, and Ferraro crushes one off the bar for the Whitecaps. The rebound falls to Bean, but he can't fully connect on that. And it's into the hands of Jason Sandhu. What a strike that was from Riley Ferraro, the 17-year-old. Coming on as a sub, and first real looking goal for him. Comes from a very famous sporting family. His dad is former NHLer Ray. His mum, two-time hockey Olympian Cami. Proud parents watching their son start off his Whitecaps career. Was involved with the League 1BC side last year. Only made one appearance for 16 minutes, but he feels going to be more of a regular this time around. Saw playing time this winter with the under-19s in the Fraser Valley League. Grabbed 3 goals in the cup competitions. Another one of these young players on the Whitecaps. A lot of 17-year-olds making the move up from the U17s into the U19 fold. Always a bit of a jump when the players do that, and it does sometimes take them a few weeks, few games, sometimes the whole season to really find their feet against older competition. And in League One, of course, they're going to be going up against players mostly 2 to 5 years older, some way older. Here comes Elijah Bean now. Another one of the young guns for the Caps. He's certainly brought a spark to the Whitecaps since he came on as a sub, as did a Jagby. Getting the goal there, and Caps pushing for more. Time running out fast for them though. Lee heads that forward to Mejia. Little give and go there with Kang. Tries to play that over the top for McMillan, but it's well snuffed out by Thomas. Jagby battling away, hits the ground, looked for a free kick, didn't get it. Mejia now slots this through to Koji Poon. Koji Poon in, plays it inside, and Masood Habibullah tucks away a 4th for TSS. Unselfish play there by Koji Poon. They looked over to the linesman to make sure the flag wasn't up. It stayed down, and the Whitecaps restore their 3-goal lead in the 80th minute here. And last year's League 1BC Golden Boot winner Masood Habibullah off and running. And it's TSS Rovers 4, Vancouver Whitecaps 1. Got to say, full credit to Koji Poon there. He could easily have gone in on goal, tried to round Ben Alexander. Don't think Alexander was expecting him to play the little pass inside to Masood Habibullah. Nothing Alexander could do about that one. Habibullah, the 21-year-old, off and running in the 2024 campaign. First assist of the season for Koji Poon. Koji Poon coming off a very strong League One or college season with SFU. He could easily himself have won the Rookie of the Year. Hennessy taking those honours. The two of them played so well. Big turnover of seniors on SFU, but they've made some very strong additions to the season. Kean Proctor, that was on the first half for TSS, is going to be suiting up for SFU next season. hope I can get out to more than the one game I managed to make it out to for SFU this past season. Unfortunately, a lot of clashes with my UBC commitments and my commentary commitments up here at Thunderbird, but fingers crossed we can get out to a few more SFU games, because they play some wonderful stuff up the mountain, and their players spread out really amongst TSS and Burnaby FC in League One for this summer season, and they, for me, are the two strongest teams. As Mejia now powers into the box, tries to make room for the shot, forced to turn back, cuts it back to Kang, comes back out to McMillan, and TSS forced back. Heading into this season, when we were speaking about it on the podcast, we felt that TSS and Burnaby, probably the two strongest teams on the men's side, and I think that could still be proved to be the case. Looking forward to the battles that they're going to have coming up in the coming weeks. For the Whitecaps, it looks like it's just going to be 1 point taken from their first two games. Anyone that's maybe unfamiliar with how League 1BC works, the regular season winner will progress to the 2025 Canadian Championship, unless it is the Whitecaps who aren't allowed to take part in that, and it would likely be the runner-up. Top four in the men and the women's divisions make the playoffs. 2 one-legged semi-finals with a championship game to come in August. So for the Whitecaps, they just want to regroup. They want to get themselves back in the right frame of mind, and Rich Fagan's very good at bringing these young players through and doing just that. They're targeting a top 4 finish. Yes, they'd like to finish first, but they don't care where they get as long as they get in the top 4. So it does feel already that every point is going to be a prisoner in League 1BC in the men's division this year. And they've shown 2 really good battling performances, and they'll get a test next week as they travel over for their first road game on the island to take on Harbourside. As Ferraro tries to get something going, but the rock that is Schmidchenko there again. TSS head to Cloverdale for their first away game of the season, taking on Unity next Saturday as well. Hope to get out to that one. Altitude FC, the other game next Saturday, as they take on ROVERS at the North Shore. Altitude have their home opener on Wednesday, where they take on Harbourside. That will be the game of the week on the League 1BC YouTube channel, as Habibullah tries an acrobatic effort there, looking for his second, not troubling Ben Alexander or the Whitecaps goal there. Habibullah, one of those confident players. When he's flying, he is flying, and having taken in a few of the TSS Rovers training sessions this past week, he is really flying with the Rovers just now, and looks to have another good season here in League One, and nearly played in again there. Albert Kang trying to slot him through, but well cut out by Sahai Williams. Kang again to Mejia, little give and go, comes back to Koji Puni, tries to slot another one through to Masood Habibullah, but Ben Lee does so well to cut that one out. It would appear that that Whitecaps goal just kind of poked TSS back into life after a bit of a sleepy start to the second half. But here come the Whitecaps again, looking for a second, and that one is just wildly flashed behind the goal and seemed to curl back in as well. Didn't see who it was that had that, whether it was, I think it might have been Rukavina, might have been Samori. It was indeed Matteo Samori that had that effort for the Whitecaps. As we approach the 86th minute here, 4 minutes and change remaining in this game. It's been a very entertaining afternoon here at Thunderbird Stadium, and it's not finished yet as Bean cuts that one back, but it just overruns Samori there, and a big clearance from TSS, and they're going to get a throw in themselves now on the far side. Thomas now coming forward, plays it up to Bean. Really, really like what I've seen in these first two matches from Elijah Bean. Just plays that out now to David Ajagbe. But Thomas seemed to take a little bit of a knock after the ball went away and is down in a heap just now. N21 times Shikes says yes with a fire emoji in the YouTube chat, and Lauren Elms, daughter of TSS owner Colin, shared 3 pirate flags, as it has been a dominant display by TSS. Whitecaps will feel a little bit hard done by. I mean, they started the second half very, very well, and Thomas is forced to go off here. Going to be a bit of a blow. He's had a very good performance out there. Trying to see who came on there for the Whitecaps.
For substitution for Vancouver in the 88th minute. Leaving the match, number 84, Amani Thomas. And into the match, number 55, Isaac Charbonneau.
And it's Isaac Charbonneau coming on, the 18-year-old midfielder. Grew up in Cornwall, Ontario before moving out to Vancouver. Makes his League 1BC debut in the closing minutes here for Amoni Thomas. It's about this time of the game that I like to give my unofficial AFTN men of the match. On the Whitecap side, I mean, it's tough to choose between 2 defenders, and I notice when a team's given up 4 goals, picking a defender man of the match sometimes you feel is a little bit odd, but my Whitecaps player of the game, it's either Amoni Thomas or it's Sahai Williams. Both have put in very good defensive performances, but I think I might just give it to Thomas, who really got forward and caused a lot of problems in that first half. Got to have a hat tip as well to Elijah Bean for his second half performance, and David Ajagbe for the goal as well. In terms of TSS Rovers players of the game, Matteo Polisi with a goal and assist, Gurman Sanga with a goal and an assist. Some good solid defensive performances from Nick White, but our AFTN man of the match we're going to give to TSS Rovers number 10, Matteo Polisi. Hope you've enjoyed the action all afternoon here on the League 1BC YouTube channel. 7 goals in the first game between the Whitecaps girls and TSS. Very one-sided win. A dominant display by the Whitecaps ladies. Is anyone going to stop them in the women's division? You feel Burnaby FC may be the one that's going to give them the biggest test. I am so looking forward to those Whitecaps Burnaby FC games, both on the men's and the women's side. But the women's side in particular, that should be fantastic battles ahead. TSS Rovers getting their season off to a winning start as Poon tries to send that one in.
A minimum of 3 minutes.
3 minutes of time getting added on here by the 4th official. A minimum of 3 minutes, we should always mention, of course. Whitecaps still pushing. I mentioned in the women's game, it's like goal difference could still be very, very important in the grand scheme of things in the League 1BC standings. It's not one of the top 2 tie-breaking situations. The tie-breaking situations are most wins and then head-to-head between the 2 teams. Goal difference coming in as the 3rd. I have to say I would prefer goal difference to be the number 1, but Doesn't seem to be how it is in Canadian soccer. Maybe we can get that changed somewhere down the line. But the Whitecaps, 1-0 draw to kick off their campaign last week, 4-1 defeat. They've got 1 point from their 2 games. TSS will kick things off with 3 from 3. But the Caps still pushing here. A great save there from Sandu at the near post to deny the Whitecaps again.
Fans, a reminder that our next home match for the Whitecap MLS Academies, Sunday, May the 19th, the girls and boys will host ROVERS FC, with the girls match kicking off at 3 p.m. and the men's at 6.
In the corner on the far side here to the Whitecaps. Good delivery into the 6-yard box. It's bouncing about. It's nearly tucked away by a Jagby. Takes a deflection off Josh Tomei, who has come on for TSS as well, and it's going to be out for another corner here. A Jagby looking for his second of the afternoon. Whitecaps keen to get on with this one. Another good delivery into the box, but cleared by the Rovers. Zoo back quickly to try and get onto that one. Nice little back heel there by De Silva. Looking to try and give that back to Zoo, but Nick White will just send that big boot up the field to Mejia. And the flag up for offside on the Colombian. Whitecaps still pressing, still pushing. Can they get themselves another goal? A Jagby. Play it to Samori at the edge of the box. It's broken up, but Whitecaps get it back. Nice little turn there by Ferraro. Ball still bouncing about in the Rovers box. A Jagby can't get the pass or the shot off there, and it's cleared by the Whitecaps by Ben Hulton, who's another player that's put in a great shift for TSS this afternoon. And then Mejia gives this one back to Albert Kang. He can't keep that one in, and that is just going to run out in the dying seconds here. League 1BC action comes to an end this afternoon, and it's a big 4-1 win for TSS Rovers over the Whitecaps. A very solid first half performance saw them lead 3-0 at the half. Goals from Devon O'Hay, Matteo Polisi and Gurman Sanga. David Ajagby pulled one back for the Whitecaps in the second half for Masood Habibullah. Made it 4-1. That was how it finished. Thank you for being with us all afternoon on League 1BC. League 1BC would like to acknowledge the following league partners: CIBC, Gatorade, the Cruyff Institute, Derby Star, Macron, Vibrant Performance, the Canadian Premier League, One Soccer and BC Soccer. I've been Michael McCall. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. You can give me a follow on Twitter at AFT in Canada. Read all our stuff as we cover the Whitecaps at all levels and all aspects of BC soccer on aftn.ca. We'll be back with the next game of the week on Wednesday as it's Altitude taking on Harbourside. The women kick that one off at 3:30 at Kinsman Field. The men go at 6 o'clock. Should be 2 cracking games on the North Shore. Altitude FC's home opener. We'll be back with more Whitecaps and TSS action soon. But until next time, have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again soon.